So based on what Jessica just shared, it's really worrying that she doesn't really know what the production cost is for that specific batch. Now this is very important because of a few reasons, but mainly number one, knowing the cost of the batch will help you identify how much to sell to the customers. In other words, you can play with your margin if your customer asks for a discount and you know what is the floor of what you can reduce. Okay? Number two, as we know, quality control is important. However, without knowing the cost of that batch, we don't really know the significance of how much is being written off if the whole batch is written off. Right? That makes sense? And this is absolutely worrying. So, for today, the more important thing that Jessica needs to do is to be able to prioritize and rank where she can start her digitization process. Right? As you can see from the reaction just now, she's trying to guess where the premix, the importance and the urgency of the premix is. Right? She's guessing, oh, it's important, maybe somewhere. She's just trying to guess. With that, I'm going to try to help her demystify what she can guess or not guess, and I'll try to explain what she can do to then help her prioritize her go digital process.
Here's a simple strategy that can help her work this out. Okay, so let's go back to the basic process. What they are doing is they're mixing all the raw material. So for illustration purpose, let's assume she has raw material A, material B, and material C. With 50 kg, 10 kg, and 10 kg with the respective prices. Okay. What they're really doing is you're taking A, B, and C and putting it in the mixer so that you get a premix where this premix will become the raw material that will be poured into the injection molding machine. Okay. So instead of figuring out or trying to second guess, what Jessica can do is she can start looking at the cost of each individual item. So 50 kilogram at $1 per kg, you get $50. $50 again for 10 kilogram of raw material B, and you get $5 for 10 kilogram in material C. So that's a total of $105 and total of 70 kilograms of premix, and that gives you roughly $1.50 per kilo. Right, so then this becomes important because if I were to guess, many manufacturers including Panwrite, what they could be doing is to use $1 for material A to be used as a starting point of the costing process, because majority of the raw material used is material A, and material A is $1 per kilo, and they might just use that. However, in this case, the actual cost is $1.50 per kilo, and that's a 50% difference in the cost rate. So this is where Jessica can do a quick calculation. And you don't need any systems, you just need to roughly use your pen and paper and a calculator and look at this. In this example, if it's a 50% difference in costing, that's a major difference, and I would prioritize this straight away. However, if she finds that the actual premix is, let's say, $1.02 per kilo, which is a small marginal difference that can be ignored, then maybe she shouldn't prioritize this. With that, she can then proceed to reprioritize, and this is what I literally mean using data to make decisions in terms of how you prioritize your investments in systems.
Alright, so we've just finished the tour in Panwrite, and after the tour I sat down with Jessica and we hashed out a few ideas. In a nutshell, these are some of the suggestions that I can propose to Panwrite. As you can see, there are lots of small things that could be improved, and Panwrite is a little bit confused because they don't know where to start and yada yada. So my role is to help her get started. which is our objective of SmartB YouTube channel. The idea is to help you get started on your digitization journey. Okay, so what I've done is I've come up with 3 potential suggestions. We've got Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. Right. So what does that mean? Right. So option number 1, which is Plan A, is to propose to Panwrite or Jessica that they may implement a end-to-end ERP solution, which is their existing plan, but this is the one that is also causing a lot of objections and obstacles. So what does a full-scale ERP mean? A full-scale ERP would include your ERPs, your MES, your WMS, PLCs, and your machine integration. So it's a full-scale thing which will definitely do everything that they want, and so this is not something that I would recommend that they do. So I may instead propose option B and C, which I think are more suitable. And option B is to say, let's forget about the entire ERP system and just focus on MRP, which is Material Resource Planning. Okay, what does that mean? In option B, instead of doing the whole system, what we're saying is we'll narrow down to the two areas that they need, and this will allow them to collect data, right? And this is pretty normal, and this is also useful. Now, then we have option C, and this is the one that I would definitely recommend to them based on multiple reasons. Option C is to just say, let's focus on inventory control and inventory tracking first, because with inventory tracking, you can already capture data that you need, right? And what does that mean? So if you've seen the production line is actually a very simple one-stage production. Your incoming is your plastic raw material, and as soon as you pour into the machine, you mix it, it will come into a finished good. So the immediate goal for option C is to get Panwrite to capture the raw material input into the machine and the output from the machine, which is the finished goods. And just by capturing these two information, Panwrite can already come out with very, very valuable insight into what they need to do or how they can move forward. Right, so the 3 options: A is to do a full suit, which is what they have in mind initially, but have major obstacles, and there is a valid reason. Because of these obstacles, then I would say pass, move on. MRP is also great, however, this will still involve some sort of production planning and scheduling. Personally, I think this is great, but I don't think they really need it yet, right? So what I'm going to suggest is option 3, which is only focusing on data capture, and this is what I call following the 2080 rule. So by doing this part, which is the inventory control, they have all the insight already. So what does that mean? Option A, B, and C actually gives you the analysis, the data that you need to do the analysis. However, option C is the easiest to implement. So this is what I'm going to propose to Panwrite, and I would definitely get them to start. More importantly, if they use a cloud-based inventory system, what they can be implementing is something easy to be done. They have the data that they need, and once they have the data, they can then relook at what areas that they need to invest or spend more time to improve their business. And that's really it. So from there, I think it is very clear, Panwrite, if they take on option C, which is my suggestion, they can get started. They don't have to stress about money. They don't have to stress about how long it takes, the manpower. More importantly, by doing option C or even option B, they do not have to involve their finance team, which is a major hurdle in most smaller companies. The finance team usually has major resistance, rightly so, because they need to make sure the numbers are reported to the auditors, and that's something that we don't want to touch. The good thing about just focusing on the inventory is at any point in the digital journey that they've done anything wrong, they can just go back and update it or correct it. They don't have to stress over it. They don't have to spend too much time. Just go with starting one machine, then implement the second machine, and so on and so forth. So build small wins, that's my point. Build small wins so that they can build the confidence and figure out what data they need. Okay, so with that, I hope they will take my advice. Okay, so that was our meeting with Panwrite. Very excited. There are a few things that we have learned, and it's a very typical issue that small businesses are facing, and I hope that we can work on coming out with a few ideas. But the key thing is very simple. What most SME needs, the first thing is to figure out where can they get their data, and then through data they can analyze their business needs, the needs for digitization, the need for system. They can narrow down the areas that are more urgent and prioritize those areas very specifically, and you don't have to do the whole thing. It's all about 20-80 rules. The 20% of your operations that will generate 80% of the growth, and that's what you need to look at. Okay, so this is Alwin, and signing off. Again, thank you for watching. If you like our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe, click at the bottom, and hope to hear from you very soon. Okay, alright, bye.